Okay. Almost took an hour just to create the goddamn character. What do we have? We have attack, spacebar, pause things. Right. Edit grimoire. First level wizard spells. Second wind. Requires 1 athletics. Arcane assault. Unleashes a bolt of magical energy from the grimoire that inflicts raw damage. Right. We can cast 2 first level abilities apparently. Combat only. Inventory, character sheets, journal, map, stronghold, options. Scepter, 200 weapon, fast, range 10 meters, interrupt 0.5 seconds, damage 11 to 17 crush slash damage, accuracy versus deflection. Enchantment 0 out of 12. Ooh, I can try to enchant. Right? I have no fucking idea what I'm doing. Quality. Secondary damage. Slaying. Yeah, I don't think I have any of these. Not enough money to add accurate to. Okay. Stash. What is stash? Stealth, athletics, lore, mechanics, survival. Active effects, strange illness, -3 concentration and fortitude. What is fighting? Fighting spirit is the human racial ability. Journal. You have your quests. Journey to Gilded Whale. Collect some spring berries to concoct a remedy. Cyclopedia. History, afflictions and injuries, character statistic, combat mechanics, deities, equipment, locations, lore, tips. Backer content. Okay, friendly fire. If an ability lists an area of effect radius, it affects everyone in the area. Area of effects differentiated by friendly or foe descriptors affect those groups only. Okay, just as I sort of guessed. Queuing actions. Shift clicking a series of actions or waypoints adds into the action queue that will be carried out in order. Stash. Clicking an item in a container while holding the shift key will move it directly to your stash. Okay. A map. So it's pretty much just a picture of the area. World map. Where am I? No idea. Going to the Gilded Village, so maybe we're at Celantlis. It's a stronghold. You do not own a stronghold yet, okay? and options. Right. So we
Oh?
right. This is very much like Baldur's Gate controls. Right. Hmm. Don't mind Odema. This is as good a place to camp as any. Right. We need to find some specific people. Ugh, there has to be a better way to scroll the screen. Ugh, just so slow. Seriously. Scroll speed. Ooh, switches. Yeah. Ooh, excellent. We need to find someone with a specific name. Do I even know the name now? Do I have to talk to them to find out? Ah, here down.
Anyone need supplies? I've got sundries for sale.
You see a man wearing simple but mostly neat clothes. He's transfixed, however, by a ragged tear in the seam of his tunic.
Brought a whole wagon full of goods to sell, but not enough shirts for the road.
He scratches one cheek with his knuckles. It's covered with uneven stubble, as if he hasn't quite gotten used to shaving on the road.
Say, is there anything you need? I've got some basic traveling supplies for sale if you'd like to take a look.
Who are you?
I'm a trader, originally from the Adir Empire, but I've been trying to establish new business out here. Life on the road has brought some unexpected challenges, to be sure. And I'm sure you've noticed how prickly the locals can be. But we're here to make the most of things, right?
With an outlook like that, I'm sure you'll do well. We'll see, I suppose. I'm just trying to do right by my family. You now have one rank in a disposition reputation. These reputations represent how people perceive your personality throughout the world. Even seemingly nasty reputations will be favored by some people, and benign reputations often bring out the worst in certain people. No disposition is inherently good or bad in Pillars of Eternity.
Something else you need? Looks like we're settled for the night.
Tell me about the Ader Empire.
It's not as big as it used to be, but it's still big. The mainland is a continent northwest of here, but the colonies used to include Raed Ceres and the Deerwood. About 150 years ago, Deerwood won its independence from the Empire, a fact our companions are quick to remind me of.
He gives you a lopsided grin and nods at the other scattered caravanners. Why do you move all the way out here?
Because it seemed friendlier than Raed Ceres? My brothers took over the family mercantile business a few years ago, and there wasn't enough for me to do back home. I moved out to try and expand.
He shrugs. Deerwood is a former Adar colony, so it seemed like a good place to start. And as much as I admire their Red Zerans' work ethic, they've always struck me as a little fanatical. Sounds reasonable enough. Out here, I'm just taking it one day at a time. Okay, show me your wares. Crossbow, greatsword, hunting bow, pike. What items do you have? Okay, stores allow you to trade and sell your items for copper pieces, or items in the store's inventory. Merchants buy items from you at a greatly reduced price. If you sell something, you may see it appear in the store's inventory with a much higher cost. Stores periodically refresh their inventories. Right, but how do I see my own stuff? Okay. I have nothing in storage. I don't even recall what the people have, obviously. I see my own inventory. Battle axe and a torch. Scale armor. I have a medium armor. Actually better armor than she has.
Something else you need? Looks like we're settled for the night.
Could be range weapons. Not want to do that. At least there's a confirmation, so it's not doesn't really matter much. We have 100 copper pieces, so we are not going to be able to buy much. A shield, on the other hand, would be very much within our grasp. Ocean miner regeneration, lockpicks. I'm not sure if we should buy anything. Retrain a character. 125 copper pieces. Lockpicks. Durwooden clothing. And compare it to your existing armor piece. Right.
I can get it to spill its secrets.
Mechanic 0. Lockpick. What the fuck? I don't understand. I have Mechanic 0 at or Mechanics 2, Lockpick 3. I don't get the values I'm seeing here. Lockpicks required 1. Party lockpicks 1. Do you want to pick the lock? Sure.
It's done.
Potion of Minor Endurance. Plus 50 endurance. Right. Stash or take all? Let's look around. Orland's Cradle. Automatically added to stash. Fallen tree doesn't budge. Sap oozes from the jagged wound.
Not looking forward to trying to lift that thing tomorrow.
Okay. Exploration is key in Pillars of Eternity. As you make your way through the Eastern Reach, open the area map to see what parts of the map you've already been to and what's left to explore. Sparfell.
I'll have your water soon enough. Stream's not going anywhere.
That's our target, I think. Admith's word. No, it is not. This path winds through a narrow canyon back the way you came. Grooves in the road mark the passage of hundreds of caravans.
Let's check by those outcropping.
There's dead people there. Can even zoom in. Lovely. Oh dear, oh dear. What do we have here? Travelers maybe, or looters, or bandits. Bad sign any way you figure it. Right. The corpse is cold to the touch and a ripe smell wafts from it in putrid waves. A dark, crusted bloodstain besmirches its simple linen clothing. Leather armor. Lockpick. I'll take it. Use the tab key. Oh shit. The footprints around the campfire are indistinct and may have been here for days or longer.
Not good.
This is recent, not good. Right. Durcab. Push. Rather a bottle. Here. No, there was nothing here. You take it. Right, it's technically just a container. Burned lady. Okay, so, dead bodies. If there's something hostile here, this is where it's gonna be. Young wolf.
What you need?
Not quite.
Right. So the AI does not have the common sense to move closer. I need to manually move. Loss of Eternity combat uses a pausable real-time system. Because you will often manage more than one character at a time, it's a good idea to pause the game, issue orders and resume real time to see the orders play out. The options menu also contains many choices for automatic pausing when certain conditions are met. That's probably something we should take a look at.
What you need?
Where are you casting? One of your characters has been engaged in melee. When characters are engaged, they immediately stop moving. If they move again, they will provoke a disengagement attack from enemies engaging them. Your characters will also automatically engage enemies when they initiate attack against them. Where are you casting it? I want to see if it's going to cast there or target them. Yeah, I don't give a shit. Just cast this fucking spell. Right, so it's totally worthless. Not particularly interested in that. Okay, sometimes a weapon or spell simply isn't well suited to penetrating enemies' damage reduction. When the attack hits, the damage reduction will wipe out all but a small percentage of the incoming damage. You'll hear your characters complain about it when it happens. Take heed. Note the damage type that's being blocked and switch to a weapon or spell that does different damage type. I do want to check the auto pause. Combat start. Reasonable enough. That's good enough for now. I'll mess with this when I feel like there's something there for us to mess with. So the spell system is very dumb. I don't think that's a bad idea, because usually when the computer tries to sort of fix your intention, it intends to lead to more trouble. It's just something you have to get used to.
This is it.
What is, you're some kind of artist? That's so. Yes, in the traditional sense. I try to capture life as I see it, create something new. Yeah, how is it you happen to come here? Hmm. Hmm. How to answer that? I'm not sure if it really matters, but I lived in a slum and my work was stolen by thieves. I used the last of my money to escape that place. No. I don't find that I have options here that I'd like to use, but at the same time. I no longer feel inspired. I don't know why, but somehow I've lost it. Some things just aren't in the stars, and there's no changing it. Makes you wonder if the gods like putting us in situations that can't be resolved, just to see what we do. Kaliska breathes in her surroundings. Been a long time since I've been this way, but I always did like it. Lord Redrick's offer makes a girl think. I'll give him that. You here to settle, like the rest of the lot? Hmm. No, I'm just passing through. That's usually the case with the big city, just a little ways further up the same road. Where are you headed? Hmm. I'll probably wander for a while. I couldn't judge you for that. Been half my life. Just watch yourself. You get too far off the beaten path. These lands are wild in more ways than one. Anyways, I'm wasting time here. Odema'll give me an earful. Let's be on our way. Why are you here? Kaliska sighs unevenly. Her eyes search the ground at her feet. My sister moved out here some time back. She sent me a letter. She seemed worried, but that's how she's always is. This time though, she asked me to come out, and that's got me a little worried. I haven't seen her in ages, been doing guide work in Ixamital. But I'd do anything for her. Well, she's a much better woman than me, so I'm here and we'll see. Odema I've worked with before. He doesn't usually drive a rub this way, but he's doing it for me. What can you tell me about Durwood? I'm not much for history, but from what I know, it used to be part of the Aether Empire. Broke off after a war some years back. The locals here are feisty, and that's how they like it. I've been out of touch, but I've been hearing weird kinds of things about it lately. People having trouble giving birth, I guess. A lot of them. Been going on for years now, but somehow it's getting worse. With an uneasy tremor in her voice, she adds, I'll have to ask my sister more about it. Okay, tell me about yourself. I've got simple needs. I like open skies and far horizons. I find work that lets me live that way. My family wanders too. We started in Durwood, but my parents ended up in the Living Lands. I've got a brother in Ruautai, and another in Ader. My sister in Gilded Vale. She's the only real homebody. Alright, let's get back to camp. You know, I wouldn't hold my breath that Sparfell's getting you water anytime soon. He does what he feels like, when he feels like it. We should check up on him first, slap him around a little. Stream's just down that way. Come on, let's get you your water. Find Sparfell. Party gained 170 experience points. Where exactly is he getting the water from?
Sparfel went hunting. At least he left the water skins. Come on.
You crouch at the riverbank and dip your water skin into the cool water while Kaliska waits nearby, keeping watch. As you rise, you notice her look up sharply toward the tree line. Out of the trees emerges Sparfell, one of the guides, barely discernible in the dim moonlight. He no longer carries his bow, and there is a strangeness in his gait, his stride wobbly as he moves toward you with labored breath.
Sparfel? Are you alright?
Sparfell's toe catches on a rock and he collapses forward in a heap, the feathered shaft of an arrow planted between his shoulders like an enemy flag.
Ambush!
We have Glanfathan Hunter. Glanfathan Hunter. Okay.
Hmm?
No spells to cast anymore. Don't think I want to do Arcane Assault either, so no more fighting for us. Ah, we actually have a magic attack. Do you have any special attacks? Second Wind, Knockdown. Let's try that. Many spells and abilities in Pillars of Eternity have a limited number of uses. An ability that can be used a number of times per encounter will have all of its uses restored when combat ends. Abilities that can be used a number of times per rest will only be restored when you rest at an inn or use camping supplies. Right. So I guess the knockdown succeeded.
Yes?
Back to camp.
Certainly.
The music volume a bit low.
What you need?
Hmm? Oh?
Shit. More hunters. Not a lot we can do here. Yeah, looking bad. Best use the Arcane Assault. Only affects foes.
Certain?
What? It's a very small area, in fact, that it affects.
Oh. Hmm?
A lot of crap. Maybe you should take a shield.
Certainly.
Glenfathan Leader. All around you lie the massacred remains of the other travelers, peppered with arrows and knife hilts, splayed and bug-eyed and filthy. Kaliska puts the back of her left hand to her mouth as if to ward away some poisonous vapor. A handful of dark figures stand above the fallen, treading on limbs and backs and heads, jerking their axes from bodies as if from half-split logs. One of them, towering and severe, with a thick beard tasseled with knots, holds a wet blade at the neck of the man you recognize as Helden, the last of your caravan left standing. Lay down your arms, trespasser. Do not forfeit this man's life for a fight you will lose. We have a lore option. The ruin has not been sullied by our hands, men of Air Glanfa. Your words carry no weight when I have seen the truth with my own eyes. Blood must be paid for this intrusion. So I say again, lay down your arms. Erden. Don't trust them, they mean to kill us all. Try the intellect route. Judging by this ring of animal teeth around your neck, I'm guessing you are a worshipper of Galawain. If Galawain told you to stop protecting the ruins, would you? The man frowns and motions as if to swing his axe. Helden winces, but the blow never comes. Instead, the man cocks his head, intrigued. Oh, of course, but he would not. It is by the command of all the gods that we accept this charge. How do you know? Because it's consistent with their beliefs, or because it's what you were told? The man glares. It has always been known to my people. I see. And what of Galavain's edict that weakness and age must be purged by youth and strength? You think Galawain would want some moldy, crumbling stones to survive long after their builders have turned to dust? The man's nostrils flare as he fumes. He would not. He told us otherwise. I'm sure he did, just not you personally. But why should that stop you from killing innocents? Distracted, the man's grip falters on his axe handle and he nearly fumbles it, affording Helden the moment he needs to dodge out of his swing, which comes too late. Howling with rage, the man charges you instead. Oh. It does seem like we have an additional guy here. Not sure if we can survive this any better than the other guys. I have no idea what Theoden knows how to do. Blinding Strike. I think this is a good chance to play him out of the fight, at least temporarily. Arcane Assault. 2 per encounter. I might as well just start spamming this.
Yes?
Your enemy lies supine on the ground, unable to rise. His companions now silent among the other dead. His breath comes in wheezing with fitful gasps. He looks not at you, but at the sky above you. Give us. Barely audible beneath his choked sighs, a whisper of wind stirs the air. At this, the man's eyes roll back as he calls them. Good, good. The gods are just. A queer smile crosses his face. I am ready. The wind begins to swell, whipping around the camp, electric and volatile, upending pots and rattling tents like an angry spirit. You can feel it begin to seep beneath your skin, and where it pierces you, it feels as though it is rending you apart from within. Seated against a wagon wheel amidst the howling maelstrom, slashed across chest and bow, Odema's body stirs, and with great effort he raises his sagging head, his eyes barely open, and looks directly at you.
Get inside! Run!
Straining against the gale that threatens to pull you off of your feet with every step, you set your hands in the worn folds of weathered rock and set about pulling yourself up the precipice. With a last burst of energy before your arms give out, you swing yourself up onto the ledge. Hilden trails behind, slowed by injury and delayed by early hesitation. As he nears the face of the rocks, one of the fallen attackers, who had been feigning death, lunges for Hilden and topples him onto the rocky ground. Restrained, Hilden lashes out against his fatigued assailant but struggles to break his hold. They are close to you. From your position, you would have a good chance of hitting your mark. Channel a bolt of energy toward the attacker. Your aim is true, and the hit jars Hilden loose. Lurching to his feet, Hilden clambers up the base of the rocks. As he nears the top, however, the wind flares, pulling him sideways and tearing one of his hands free. But diving out onto the hard rock, you manage to catch hold of it. Securing his other hand, you pull with waning strength, and it feels as though your arm will be jerked from their sockets. They hold just long enough for Hilden to set his feet and join you on the trembling ledge. There is a deep resonance to the swelling wind now. You feel it in the rocks beneath your feet and inside the cavity of your own chest, as though it would shake the marrow from your bones. Each new gust menaces the old stones before you, loosening connections, unsettling balances. As you dart beneath the old archway, the entire portal begins to fall beneath its own weight.
Was that
A Bewick. Had to be.
live?
We're lucky to be alive.
And we're the only ones.
Here. There could be another collapse. We're not getting out that way anyway. Let's get further inside.
Bah. Escape the ruins. Journey to Gilded Whale. I don't think we've gained a level up yet, but I'd like to see how close we are. How the hell do you even see that information? About halfway there. Fighter. Drifter. So basically a rogue. Rogue Fighter Wizard. It's basically lacking a healer, but it's the basic party. You want magical power, you need a thief to disarm traps. A scout, you need a fighter, and you need a healer. Then you've got every base covered. So it's a fairly good party composition initially.
What you need?
Mm,
How can I help?
one per encounter, Blinding Strike. One per encounter, Second Wind.
What you need?
I probably should use more of that. Although it doesn't restore health, and then I think that the green bar we see is health. The value we see there is endurance. Right. You have your alternating weapons groups. How do you switch between them? I have no idea. Like, what armors do you have? Leather armor, medium. Hide armor, medium shield. Um, Hunting bow. How do I see weapon skills and the like? Sneak attack, second wind, fighting spirit, blinding strike, mechanic, stealth. Not showing weapon skills anywhere. You can switch to new weapon sets by selecting the weapon icon from an individual character's action bar. No shit. What exactly do you have? Dagger, dagger, or dagger? We're getting some kind of negative by using two daggers. I don't know. I'm more worried about the bow. Hopefully we don't need arrows. Pick items. Minor regeneration. We only have one fighter, so you're not gonna get the range attack. You don't need it. I should have made a warrior, not necessarily to play with this, but just to see how the weapon system works. You do not need a range attack. You already have some kind of shitty magical attack. You could use it. I don't get why you have 3 daggers. As well use range attack and melee attack.
can I help?
Right. So, at least we got to play something this time.
O